Bop, 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 whatever. This is Caution Real Radio. I am your host, Merchandise Eddie Stanley. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about crimes. Like, not really certain crimes related to, just anything in particular, just different laws, different things in this country, like certain crimes that people commit and certain crimes that people get charged for even though the evidence is not there. I would have facts, I would have all that stuff, but let's face it, I do little to no show prep anyway when I do this. Probably when I actually get other people to talk when it's an hour long show, then I'll be able to do it. First off, I have to give shout outs to one of the hosts. He is my engineer. You got to give it up to my boy Money, because if you haven't know or you don't know, the show actually got a Facebook page now. It's called Caution Real Radio on Facebook. You already know the Twitter. Twitter is Caution Radio or Caution Real Radio, but it's actually Caution Radio. That's the Twitter handle. Then you can always find us on good old YouTube as well when you type in Eddie Stanley Caution Real Radio. That's again Eddie Stanley Caution Real Radio. If you put in Eddie Stanley, you'll just find a basketball player. If you put in Caution Real Radio, then you will actually find Iraqi stuff that pretty much don't sit well with today's America. But let's dive right back. Let's dive into it. I'm diving into it because it made me think. I am a thinker. People who know me, I think about certain things. One of the things that made me think and made me question certain crimes is everybody know in the United States the job searching really isn't up to par for people looking for jobs. Even ex-cons have a hard time finding jobs. Depends on what the crime is. I'm here to just ask. Pretty much, this is the thinking episode. This is debate. This is the debate episode. As in, one of the things I was thinking was, when is a crime justified as a right thing or a wrong thing? We all know that laws, the the justice system. How about I just put it that way? The justice system really isn't fair in certain cases. Um, so it made me think about certain things because, like, from the last show of the United States dictator, it really made me think of going, okay, when is a crime justified and when is a crime not justified? One of the crimes that made me think of was, say there's a woman in an abusive relationship. The only way she know, when it boils down where the dude is beating her up so bad where she on the verge of pretty much about to get killed, she finds a gun, knife, or whatever, and she kills him. In a way, should that be justified as what it is, a murder? Yes, we do know that is a murder, but should it be a technicality to that? Because I can truly, like, honestly, I can truly see the difference between a woman defending herself and knowing that the only option she have at that brief moment is to actually stop him at all costs. Same thing with a male, to stop her at all costs, where that is the last resort. My thing is, should they actually do 25 to life for that without getting parole, compared to the person that just decide, you know what, this person I don't really care for, I'm just gonna shoot them and kill them because I don't like the person, or the person didn't show me respect, or just I'm gonna play for keeps if somebody do something to me. My opinion, I think that person deserved 25 to life because apparently you really have no, how can I put it, no remorse for what you are about to do. That's premeditated. That means that you already have in your head that this is what you go do, compared to the person that just, I gotta do it even though I don't want to. That's just a little bit of something to think about. Also, another thing is like a basic drug dealer. If you're a basic drug dealer going, oh, I'm doing this for the money, I like having the females, quote unquote, and having the power and all that go along with it, should they actually get a longer sentence compared to the person that actually has a family, couldn't find a job, even if it was a job at McDonald's or Burger King or any fast food restaurant, because they're trying to make ends meet, that cost of living is not making up for their ends meet. I do like the fact that minimum wage is about to go up in this country, but what does that say about the people who don't make minimum wage? Are we still gonna be below that little money line or anything like that? That's pretty much what I was thinking about, of going, okay, well, like I myself, I'm gonna sit here. No, I can't be a drug dealer. I won't be a drug dealer. I can't do anything because I can't see myself being away from my kids, even with the factor of having no other choice. Look, hey, I go out there and sweep like I go out there and sweep the cement if somebody pay me before I actually go out there and sell drugs and all that stuff. Because I'm not really one of them people that will go, oh, I got to do this to, There's always other ways. But like I said, there's always up for debate. Because I sit here and laugh to myself going, these crimes I actually think of with certain situations, like, should he actually go to jail for that long? Because, like, granted, I understand it's illegal to do that, but should he actually be that far away from his kids when he was actually trying to do the right thing? The society really didn't give him no other choice. And I know what they're saying, there's always a choice. That same thing with a woman that goes out there and sell her body because she got to make ends meet for her kids. Or either she go out there and look for a sugar daddy, being a gold digger, quite frankly, just to provide for their kids. This country made, like, this country truly did make people go and say, hey, if you want, quote unquote, the materialistic type stuff, here's ways you can get it quick, fast, and in a hurry, when, quite frankly, too many people is getting locked up and dying for that. Just like with me, I, like, even with the laws, somebody who kills somebody, yeah, they get 25 years. But my thing is, if it's a justifiable where is him or me, then that's a no-brainer, and you deal with the consequences, compared to those who actually, just to call them out, that are pedophiles or people who rape individuals. Granted, excuse me, I'm sorry. Granted, I understand, yeah, well, you get 10 years for touching on a little boy or touching on a little girl. When I'm looking at it going, you took away innocence. You did more damage than actually killing somebody, where I look at it going, why can't they get life? Why can't they just not be a part of society? Because granted, I know that's unfair, and even being an older guy, like, even being older, there are, for some odd reason, nowadays, the kids that's in this world, like little girls, are 12 years old and built like they are in their early 20s. And some guys are stupid and they fall for it. They don't ever pay attention. They just go, oh, I'm just looking for the booty. Well, guess what, dude? You need to deal with the consequences, knowing dang well that you shouldn't be touching her. That one, I'm sorry. That's just my opinion on that. Drug crimes, okay, I understand you're a seller and all this stuff, but if you're actually doing it to provide a better way and you really don't have nothing flashy showing, but you're just showing that you're doing this to provide because the minimum wage isn't helping out paying for that apartment or paying for that house or whatever or that car note, I can understand it. It's still wrong, but I understand it. I'm not gonna sit here and try to preach and go, oh well, this, because there are laws. That's like even with the dumb laws. The dumb laws, I think here in Michigan is one of them. Is it legal for you to tie a lion up to a fire hydrant? Really? Who will actually have access to a lion, which is illegal, to actually tie onto a fire hydrant? Or what's the other one that I always found funny? Oh, well, now this one is actually funny. Like here in Michigan, did you know that ladies out there, you have to get your permission by your husband or your significant other to actually cut your hair? Because honestly, you aren't supposed to do that. You're supposed to get their permission to do it. So see, that one's always funny to me. But I got away from my point. My point is I truly see gray areas with the laws that we have in this country. Yes, some of them are black and white, other ones are gray areas. I'm just looking, I guess, for the compassionate part of this world to see, or this country to see what truly is an offense, like somebody stealing to provide for their family, stealing something from a multi-million dollar corporation. Should they really have the book thrown at them? If you go and see that, yeah, they were truly living in a place where, dang, they really need this food. Yes, I know we got Salvation Armies and I know we have churches and stuff that will actually help those out there. But the one thing I have learned from just talking to individuals, talking to just people in general, is that pride hurts a lot. Pride hurts everything. I always tell people, would I be able, for the decisions I make or for the stuff that I do, would I truly be able to look myself in the mirror and say, you know what? I had to do it. So let me swallow my pride and stuff like that. I get that. And to me, in them situations, I think the law can be lenient somewhat, but not lenient to the factor of have anarchy across this country, because it will be one of them, even though you do come from a tough environment or you are a product of your environment, there are ways you can get out of it. This was just stuff that I was boggling on and just thought to myself of going, hey, if I feel this way, I wonder what do anybody else feel this way, and do anybody else think and see my point of view of certain crimes. Like murder, I feel in certain situations I don't see the point of going to jail for life because you were defending yourself and not just saying, oh, well, I was defending myself because I was scared. No, a legitimate reason on why you had to defend yourself. Also, pedophiles and rapists, I feel they should actually get life. They should actually be the ones that's taken off the street compared to the simple nickel dime weed man that got there for is doing the bid for like 5-7 years. when his reason for doing it could have been, I don't want to do this, but my kid needs. So I really didn't have much to say about that. So here's a bonus, real good bonus. Now it's been 15 minutes in the show. Now it's time to switch topics. It's time to actually talk about something else. And what I actually want to talk about is good question. But no, honestly, what I want to talk about is just life in general. Everybody has a purpose on this earth. Nobody really know what the purpose is. You got to find your purpose. You got to actually dig through the craziness of this world to find what you're actually good at, what you need to do. I know that I'm a talker. I can actually talk and for days and all that stuff. But at one point, I want my purpose to be a guidance counselor or some type of person that can actually help the minds of people, because the mind is the most intriguing thing on this earth. The human mind in all verities is just amazing. And that's why I look at what's going on. So yeah, this episode, I say this second part is about the mental health, like the mental health care. Since 2001, the mental health care actually went into a downward spiral. I don't know if they pulled the funds to actually support the war or whatever, but I like people looked at school like now people look at school shootings of going, when is gonna happen? When Columbine happened, that was a tragedy. That was a major thing because it was truly out the blue. It was one of them things of, well, maybe if somebody would have talked to the kids that did it, maybe if the parents and all that stuff, everybody's looking at it, that's what made it a tragedy. Nowadays you just hope and pray that your kid's school isn't the one that actually gets shot up. You just hope and pray that somebody end up talking to one kid, one adult, before they decide, you know what, I want to go out here and do this. I truly don't get on how the human psyche is so fragile that nobody, or we don't really have the funds to actually try and help. We do all this stuff, and I'm not gonna sit back and say, oh well, this country is doing a messed up job. That's not my place, because I think they're doing a lot with research to narrow down concussions. Concussions is a big issue, but also the issue is them kids that are loners, them kids that, even if it's your kid, you need to say something. You need to talk to your kid. You need to get your kid help, because if your kid is the kid that's in the backyard and all of a sudden you just see a squirrel dead back there, or the dog end up getting hung or anything like that, just little signs of showing that my kid might have an issue. I'm mad that the counseling people, or like all the stuff that you could take and actually go, okay, well, go see a counselor, go see this. And the counselor was the middleman to say, okay, well, your kid really need help because your kid is doing this, because the Virginia Tech shooting, that's one of those things of going, wow. Even what the Navy or the Army, I'm sorry, I wish I would have been prepared for this, because I don't want to get it wrong. But even down in Texas, where the guy opened fire at a celebration for the military, the Sandy Brook issue, where the parent could have actually got help for the kid instead of the kid going, you know what? My mom cared more about that school and the elementary school students than me. Where he took away lives that didn't even get a chance to blossom. That's the same thing with the Colorado movie shooting. There was no reason for. Well, you know what? I think I want to dress up like Joker and actually just open fire at a Batman premiere. It's little stuff, little things that you can actually try to help your kid understand, talk to your kid, and like I said in previous episodes, I understand this world make it hard for parents to be parents because of how cost of living has went up. But there's still the fact that you have to take time on your off day, on this, when you on vacation, to actually talk to your kid, not push them off, and make your kid feel loved and try to figure out what's going on, because everybody can sit there and say, hey, my kid is not, there's nothing wrong with my kid. My kid is absolutely normal, when in fact you're pretty much pulling the wool over your own eyes until it's too late. The one thing about the dude in Colorado, and that was scary, was when they asked the parent just bust out and said, yeah, I had a feeling he'd do something like that. Well, if you had a feeling that they was going to do something like that, why didn't you help? Why didn't you stop that? This world is truly so screwed up right now that having a kid now in this world is scary. Back then, it wasn't really scary. Okay, well, I had a kid, oh, I can spend time with my kid, I can raise my kid, oh, I can see the detailed stuff. But, like I said, when mental health care end up getting pondered away, this is the results of what you get. You get the people that's out there that go, you know what? I feel like doing this, because even with me saying this, yeah, it's scary because I don't know who might link on to my page or to this show and go, I don't like that he was talking about me. I need to track him down and find him. You don't got to track me down and find me, because honestly, it's just one man's opinion. My opinions are my opinions, and that's why I love my show. I love the people that actually support me. I'm glad that y'all do. Even though it's just me by myself for right now, I'm just glad I can sit back and have a release of talking about this stuff that I think about every day, because this is what I want to do. This is how I feel my purpose was, to actually try to give guidance, to try to be, quote unquote, the Black Fraser Crane of the city, the hood, the suburbs, the state of Michigan, the state of Florida, Miami. Miami is a city. Don't clown me for that. But like Illinois, New York, I can't think of Alabama, Arkansas. Look, I'm putting out all the people that I know from different states because they would help me. Even New Jersey. So, just to recap on everything, debate with your friends about certain crimes, certain situations, see if certain laws have gray areas. Also, look up, like, also a little tidbit if you want to know, try to look up like different crime or different silly laws that was instilled in this country that we break the law all the time because we do it and nobody even know that it's against the law. Also, debate with your friends about the mental health issue of going, do you really think that some of these things could be avoided because of just the simple talking to somebody, just looking at the traces and all that stuff? Because honestly, being a kid that never got a whooping, I don't think just because your kid do something, you need to whoop them. When, quite frankly, you probably just need to talk to them to see where they psyche at. Because honestly, right now, the human psyche is the most dangerous thing on this planet. I don't care what race, nationality, religion, is truly one of them things of everybody can't be like Professor X from X-Men. But just talking to see where somebody's head is at, that's all you can do. Even if that's your closest friend, you need to see where their head is at, because and tell somebody if they start saying or doing stuff out the way. Just like how we had the little campaigns running across the TV and the radio of going, if you see a package or you see something strange, tell somebody. Well, guess what? That works both ways. Cause honestly, I'm more afraid of the person that's acting weird compared to, well, no, both of them scary, so I can't even sit here and lie to you. I can't lie to my audience, but just seeing different stuff, always be aware of what people are doing, because due to the lack of mental health and due to, like, you have to have a master's in psychology and like psychology and sociology and all that stuff. It kind of cut out the middle man, which got an associates and bachelors, to filter, quote unquote, the crazies. Because quite frankly, this is one of them scary situations. I know this wasn't my better shows. It was a put together show, but hey, I still gotta please to my public. Next week's show, don't know. Don't really have a clue. Might have theme music, might not. Might have the host, or might have one of the hosts that I've been trying to get on here for the longest, but our schedules don't meet up. So that way I can go from a simple half an hour show to an hour show just by plugging in people to talk to. Um, Again, I do want to give. This is the point where the merchandise actually pay homage to some of the people that truly helped him out, that actually believed that I could do this and actually talk. Everybody on here know my inspiration comes from little things. Little victories, like I tell people, mean a lot to me, because you can't always win the big one. You can always win the little victories until you actually win the big one. I don't know how anybody can actually go through this world without having the support and people that actually back you, but they find ways to actually do it. To those people that don't have the support, I will support you. You can do it. You truly are somebody that can actually help make this world better. No matter if it's just saying I want to be a kindergarten teacher to I want to be a professor at a university. It could be, okay, I started working at a fast food restaurant, but I think I actually want to go for the bigger prize of owning a restaurant. Possibilities are endless. Like I told you, I give thanks to all the people that helped me start with this show, because honestly, without them, I don't think I would have the inspiration to actually do this and strive to actually say, you know what, let me put this out. I'm going to do it. That's pretty much what it's about. Like I told you, my boy Money, I owe him a lot, because he was the one that helped set up the Facebook page that you can find, Caution Real Radio. even my Facebook friends that's actually liking the page, supporting it, even if they don't want to hear me talk, because they hear me talk on a daily basis. I give much praise to my friends that actually said, well, since you got a Twitter page, even the dude that I'm trying to get on the show that actually helped put together the Twitter page, much love, much respect to everybody that support me, that believe in the merchandise. And if this sounds like a mushy anus kissing or anus kissing thing, quite frankly, it is, because without support, how can you actually do what you really want to do? So now, this is the end of our show. I am your host, Merchandise Eddie Stanley. This is Caution Real Radio. You can hit me if you got a ideal about a show. Hit me on cautionrealradio7 at gmail.com. That's cautionrealradio7 at gmail.com. If you want me to discuss something, or you got questions answered, or you want to actually comment on anything, that same thing on YouTube. You got subscribe. Tell your friends subscribe. On Twitter is Caution Radio, and on Facebook, Caution Real Radio. I am the Merchandise Eddie Stanley. If you didn't get the time, see y'all later, and have a good week. And yeah.